Good morning, starshine. The earth says hello.
Good morning, Starshines! Everyone should be out of ads by now. Hello, hello! Hi, everyone. I am here with Early. As I set up my stitching, we'll probably have to have a conversation about personal space, but for the moment, she's a happy girl. She's got chin scratches. But hello, hi, Toot. Hello, Gardens. Hello, Collie. Hello, Mike. Thank you, everybody, for being here on this lovely Saturday morning. I woke up this morning and it was so bright and sunny that I was sure it was like almost 9 o'clock. It was 7:15. So I got up like my usual time, but I felt like I was getting up a lot later, so it's been a little bit of a discombobulated morning. But Here we are. Alright, Earls, can I have my hand back so I can put Garden's name on my coffee? She's leaning on me so heavily that I'm feeling like I might, if I move, she might fall. So let's move very slowly. Oh, okay, she moved. I'm free. Gardens just says no. Early more important. And then let's do a little... There's a planet and a star, and this is a galaxy. There we go, Galactic Gardens. Hi, Earls. And I am using one of my favorite mugs, my Yeti mug. I remember one of the first streams that Mike came to, I said, oh, I'm gonna grab my Yeti mug. And he was expecting like a mug from the company Yeti. No, it's my mug that's shaped like a Yeti. But hi everyone. Kali has their NASA NASA. I don't know why I've started saying NASA. Their NASA badge on. I don't know if I have mine on or not. Probably not because I'm the streamer. But I have mine. I don't know if you guys watched Splashdown last night. It was so cool. Just absolutely mind-blowing to be able to watch that in real time on Twitch, no less. Toot pointed out that it was on Twitch of all places, and there were 500,000 people. Wait, no, 250,000 people. I could do math. Watching it along with me. Gardens was there until stream ended. It was so... And we were watching it, and then when they were finally able to get visual, like external visual of the of Integrity, they Toot commented that at first it looked like a bad like 60s sci-fi, and it really did. Like, it looked like a really bad 60s sci-fi movie. And then when it splashed down and it was bobbing around in the water and the boats were coming up, it looked like a James Bond movie. I can't remember which James Bond movie, but there's one that ends with him in like an inflatable in the middle of the ocean with like the Bond babe. And I'm like, oh my god, it's the Bond movie. It might have been Octopussy, I'm not sure. Maybe you only live once. You only live twice, you only die once. Mike was over on YouTube watching it. Oh, so cool. So, Toot had a very good idea. That I should commemorate the Artemis 2 splashdown and this whole really cool week with a tattoo on my hoodie. So that's what we're doing today. I do know that I have a backlog of community tattoos to do. I am aware. If you do !tattoo, you can see the list right now. And I promise I will get to them. I haven't actually stitched on this in a couple of months. February was the last time I touched it. Just because I kind of stitched on it too much, and then my hands, I needed like a hand break, and then some stuff happened and I didn't really want to pick it up for a while. But I'm happy to be back working on it now. So I have a little preview of what I'm going to be stitching up in the corner. It's a mashup of a couple of perler bead patterns I found. And then I just kind of recharted them together. With a little rocket ship going to the moon. So that is what we are working on today. today. Early is here with me still. You can see her butt right here. Pow is voraciously eating her, it's tattoo, not with no S. Pow is voraciously eating her pellets, which I gave her this morning. I gave her pellets like 20 minutes before stream, and they're gone. There's no sign of them, except all over her face and claws. She's mushed them into oblivion. You might also notice that Pow has lost hide privileges. Yesterday she went on a tear and managed to get her big like skull hide out of the corner. So she pushed it out of the corner. It's kind of like in the back left corner of her enclosure. She managed to push it to the front of her enclosure, more towards the middle. And as she was like shoving it around, she tore down a bunch of her lights. So yeah, so I took that hide out, and I'm gonna give her a temporary hide until we can get like a more permanent one set up. But her enclosure looks very barren today because I had to take away that. Hey Lady K, welcome in. I am attempting to let you guys be able to see this. See if I can zoom. Zoom. Okay. It's very hard to show this off on stream. It's hard to stitch on as well because you have to hold all the extra fabric back. The case has long live Pow and her chaos. She was redecorating her home. She really was, but not in a way we really want her to. So, like, I feel bad because you've seen the snakes enclosures and they're very beautifully decorated. They have a lot of like plants and stuff to hide under and climb over, and Pow's enclosure looks very bare compared to that because she will destroy or try to eat anything we put in there. So we do give her new stuff because that gives her enrichment, but she's just so destructive that we can't really give her some of the cooler decorative elements that the snakes get. We were even thinking of doing a bioactive enclosure for her, and if you're not familiar, bioactive enclosures are set up with... Okay, bye, Earls. They're set up with live plants, dirt, and isopods. So the idea is you create a complete ecosystem within the enclosure. So, you know, the animal poops, the isopods eat the poop, turn it into... and then that also fertilizes the plant. So you've got a cleanup crew, you've got plant fertilizer, and it's just a really great system. You've got all these lovely, beautiful live plants in there, and so we were thinking of doing that for Pow's enclosure. And
is such a thing even possible?
We were talking to the reptile store owner who owns a herd of redfoots and breeds them, and she was like, no, don't even try it. Even if you manage to get it established, she would destroy it. Like, she would uproot everything. It would not survive. But we didn't do that. Oh, thank you for the wisdom of Cryon. Let's see what the angel Cryon has to say for us today. Sorry for the shaky. It's my Abominate box. So Cryon, the angel, as channeled by Lee Carroll, his wisdom has been condensed into this deck of oracle cards. I'm not making fun of anyone who uses oracle cards. I use tarot cards and oracle cards in my own practice. These are just either really wise or really unhinged. They're either useful in your daily life or just completely unhinged, and there's nothing in between. And unhinged in that, like, 90s way. So we're gonna see what we're gonna get from the Angel Cryon. And Toot redeeming a Bobbinate. I will do that. Alright, let's do, as has become tradition, 2 cuts. Feeling stuck on your path? Celebrate it. Celebrate the knowledge that all is relative and that you may be stopped so that others may catch up. Would you deny them the participation in what you have created? I don't know if this is unhinged or helpful. What do you guys think? Hinged or unhinged? Feeling stuck on your path? Celebrate it. Celebrate the knowledge that all is relative, and that you may be stopped so that others may catch up. Would you deny them the participation in what you have created? Yeah, I think it's helpful. The last sentence is a little hingeless. Yeah, the last sentence is hingeless, but the rest of it is good. There we go. That's what the Angel Cryon, as channeled by Lee Carroll, has for us today. Then let's do a Boobinate. Which color shall I do today? Hi, Earls. I'm gonna do one of the ones that I already have labeled, so that's 648. Kelly says things aren't going bad, you're just temporarily nerfed. Yeah, you're temporarily nerfed. They're what is it called when they're trying to balance the character gameplay? Early is doing an Artemis 2 impression, just doing flybys of your work. Yeah, she's just been doing circles. Because what happens is she goes up in the hot pad on the heating pad in the window, and then she gets too warm, so she comes over here. And then she can't get comfortable over here, so she goes to take a drink and then just repeats the cycle. So I've been working on the kits for the not for the shop, but for where we have them at a local coffee shop. I think you guys saw me working on them a little bit over the last couple of co-working streams, but I was working on actually doing the floss cards for them, which is like, I thought it was going to be the most difficult part, and it is the most like fiddly part. But doing the bulk stuffing of the kits was the most difficult thing for me. But I'm so happy with how they're turning out. Like, they just look so good. I did these not 3D printed. On the Cricut, I cut out the floss cards, so they've got it says Cozy DH Stitchery, and then it's got all like the holes for the floss. All right, there we go. 648. But yeah, let me see. I can, without destroying the balance I've collected here. So there's one of the kits. It's so cute. And you can kind of peek inside, you get everything. There's the pattern. It's like a little booklet, and then there's the key. get a hoop. Does that make the cricket a business expense? It does. And then here's the floss card that comes with it. So I just hand labeled them, and you get a length of floss for each color. Hey! Sketch, welcome in! Been a while. I will, I'll fix that shouty. Toot, if you could just, do a correct shouty and a reminder for me, please, I would appreciate it. So yeah, this is the little kit. And this is one of the newest ones, Sam. So we haven't had this one out as a kit yet, because I designed it more recently. Yeah. Little Sam. But yeah, I'm so excited about these. I'm so excited about these. So we're doing a run of 34 kits. I have completely finished 10 of them. But it didn't take me that long. So I think I'll be able to bust out the rest of them, and Toot's probably going to help me with a few of them, and yeah, it's going to be good. I'm really, really pleased with how they came together. I do kind of wish that we had the capacity to ship, because I'm just so proud of them. That I would be happy to get them in the hands of more people, but we just don't have that kind of bandwidth or ability at the moment. Did anyone else watch The Rocket Return? We were talking about that earlier. Yeah, but most of us, I think, watched Splashdown. That's what we're stitching today, is a little Artemis 2 patch on my sweater. I was thinking of doing like the full patch, but I've already got a shoulder patch on the sleeve, so I decided against it. So you can see up in the corner, that's what I'm stitching today. Toot says, before you pull a waste canvas, did you also want to add the dates? Ooh, I might. I might do the dates. I might stitch them in after, like just hand embroider them. But I might do them in a back stitch. That's a great idea. This whole thing was Toot's idea. Oh, hello. Hello, my son. Sorry. Did you guys see the way that he jumped up and just headbutted my hand until I pet him? Like, you could get a needle in the eye, baby. We're not doing co-working. Turn that off. Okay. You're thinking about making your own copy of the official patch, but you'll probably just order one online. I know that Claire from Climbing Goat Designs has put out a cross-stitch pattern for one, but it's larger. Let's do some co-worker appreciation for Bubba. The Bubs. The Bubbinator. The Bubba Lubba. The Bubba Boy. Also, whoop, hi. Hi. Yeah. He also just almost knocked my tumbler out of my hand because he was loving against it so aggressively. Yeah. Yeah. Toot says Sam is watching my screen like, I know him. You're being so loving. What is this? Are you all about Daddy today? Yeah. You know Daddy's got a headache. Is that why you're all lovey? I think there's going to be some weather fuckery later today going on because I can feel it in my sinuses and behind my my right eye. My migraine homies know. Bubba, can I stitch now? Can I stitch without you trying to lose an eye? Oh. I'm getting little kisses. Just little kisses, little loves. Okay, bubs. So, well, I'm loving Gigi. What are you guys working on today? Are you doing some stitching? Are you still waking up? Working on getting that coffee in? Sketches just waking up, thinking about drawing. It's working on Mothman. Okay, okay. Gardens is working on a piece called Queer in the Garden by Bees on Toast. I love Bees on Toast. I don't think I've actually stitched anything from them, but I've been following them on Coffee for, like, ever. Is that one of the ones where it's, like, a line of garden-related things, but it's in rainbow order? Yeah. Because they've got, like, Queer in the Dungeon or something like that, where it's it's a D&D themed thing. Adventure in Witchcraft, yes. Mike is stitching the strawberry portion of the Straw Bunny pattern from Manda. Nice. I love Manda. If you are looking for like a space themed pattern to stitch around now, I highly recommend Infinity Bear. That's not where I wanted to put that stitch. I think it's Infinity or yeah. Or IB. I can't remember. There we go. This man has made himself entirely comfortable over my entire working space. Gardens has some of their patterns on your wish list. Yeah. The water cross section pieces, the tracker pieces. She did a Way of the Waterfall as a 4-part Sal. Oh, it was so pretty. So right now I'm just kind of... That's not what I wanted to do. I'm just kind of outlining everything in black because that'll make it easier to fill in later. I've found with this project, because I picked such a dark color of, I mean, I didn't really pick, I just kind of grabbed whatever I had. If I were to do this again, I would not choose this teal. I probably would have gone for a neutral like gray or black. I really like the gray that Toot's hoodie is in. But I found that my tattoos really pop more if I do them with a black outline. So you can kind of see that I like learned this along the way. There's a few in the beginning that didn't have an outline. And all the more recent, like as you move up the sleeve, they've all got a dark outline. Burbs are demanding carrots. Oh, feed the burbs. Tuppence a bag. I am sitting so uncomfortably right now because of this. Like, let me zoom out. Let me see if I can zoom out so to show you guys what I'm dealing with here. So this is me sitting up straight. Like, I can't. Do I go in like this? Do I like compress the turkey butt here? What do I do? Do I just lean over to the side and deal with it? But he's purring, so I can't stop him. I love him, yes. Have some. Can I have some coffee, Gigi? Is that allowed? I was looking at my wall of mugs today trying to decide what mug I wanted to use for my coffee. I think I need to rotate my mugs. I meant to rotate my mugs after, like, for the winter season. I'm sorry, am I bothering you? Is that what this is? I meant to rotate them after the winter season, but like there was just so much other stuff to do that I never got to it. But I have so many mugs that I can't keep them all out at the same time. And my ADHD brain craves novelty, so I must rotate. Also, I still have like my pumpkin spice mugs out, which, well, I do enjoy a year-round pumpkin spice. It's not entirely appropriate for the season. Hey Luna, welcome in! How are you doing today? Who says it's spooky season again though? Yeah, that's true. Oh, Gigi's being the most helpful. The most helpful. We just had zombie holiday, that's true. And your birthday's coming up, which is, of course, a National Day of Spooky. We had the Trans Day of Visibility, which, you know, is super threatening because be aware, we're here. Our presence is inevitable. It is already too late. Oh no! Is the Sal from Infinity Bear Designs gone? I wanted to see what it looked like. It was a Patreon. I'm not sure if she's put it up on the site yet. But it was a Patreon thing, not too long ago. Ow. Stab my finger. Thank you so much, Luna. Yeah, I saw that you joined up. That's awesome. I hope you will enjoy the patterns. Moon Moth, Cozy Moon Moth Quaker just came out on the 8th. I'm so proud of that pattern. And you'll get a mini later in the month. Oh my god, I didn't even put up the mini poll this month. I've been so distracted with other... Okay, I have to put up the mini poll. Crap. Okay. Doing that Monday, first thing. Oops. But you'll get a mini later in the month. And your freebies, of course. Alright, you can settle there. If you would scooch just like an inch to the left, that would be great. No? Okay. Cool. The moth was definitely a motivator. I think it was a motivator for a lot of people. GG does demand to be in frame. He is famous, you know. This is his show. I'm just running it. Good, I can lean forward again. Let's try. Zoom! Alright, he's gone. Are you gonna go to Mama about it? No, he's going in his surf shack. We get those like cardboard scratcher pop-up houses. There's a chain near us. I don't know if the chain's in the States, but it's like HomeSense, Winners, Marshalls. And they always have these pop-up scratchers for like 16 bucks, and they are fantastic. So we usually keep one down in this end of the house, and right now it's a surf shack, and Gigi is obsessed with it. They're in the US. If you have animals, always check their pet section, because their stuff is like surprisingly cheap, and we found some really good stuff. It makes it easier to kind of like toss them when they've been thoroughly destroyed, because we have like a stash of them waiting to be unfolded. We have a place called TJ Maxx. I think TJ Maxx is in the same thing, in the same family. I would like to go to a TJ Maxx sometime. I feel like it would be interesting. I want TJ Maxx and Five Below. That's the shopping spree I want to go on. We haven't been to the States in a while. Pre-pandemic, really. We come here, we have Five Below, TJ Maxx, Home Goods, and Ross. Ooh. No, we're in Canada. Hate to tell you, TJ Maxx is exactly like Winners. Oh, okay. Yeah, we live in Canada. We used to live in Toronto, but we moved a little bit further east. No, we actually, we've lived in Canada for, Toot is American, which may have been why that threw you off. Toot is originally from Michigan and Tennessee. When we got married 17 years ago, we were both women at the time, and it wasn't legal in the States, so we had no choice but to settle in Canada. That was our only option. Yeah, so Toot and I are actually legally married. This apparently has surprised some people. They thought it was just like, you know, one of those haha joke marriage things. Oh yes, I'm married to this person on Facebook or whatever. But no.
Good morning, starshine.
Emily, welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. Ow, my finger. That's why Moon can visit you so easily? Yes, yep. Same country. Different province, same country. Your partner and you aren't sure if you're getting officially married. Yeah, we kind of had no choice. Like we didn't really have the option of living together or before we got married, just because of laws and stuff. So we kind of just we U-hauled hard. That's okay. It worked out. We always tell people though, like, do not take us as a case study. Like, oh well, it worked out for you. Don't. It worked out despite all of the really rash decisions we made as a young couple. We should not be an aspirational tale. We are a cautionary tale. Speaking of tale, Early, get off the keyboard. We made some choices. We really did make some choices. Partners in Norway and you're in the US, so it's definitely complicated. Oh yeah, that's a long distance. Like Toronto to Tennessee was long distance, but Norway to the States is a long distance. Oh, that's hard. That is really hard. I can't even really go 6 hours without seeing Toot, even if we're in the same house. Like, on my work days, I work from home because I'm working on the Cozy DH cross-stitch business. And I'll be in my office for like 3 or 4 hours at a time, and I'll just kind of wander down to the other end of the house just to see Toot. Take a break just because I want to be in the same room for like 5 minutes. Toot's leaving because I'm being too gushy. I don't know if I want to continue outlining the moon or work on the rocket ship a bit more. I think I might work on the rocket ship just to get some color in here. I also need your guys' help choosing a color for the rocket ship. In the mock-up, I've done 995, that kind of bright blue. But I'm not sure if I want to do the bright blue or 208, which is... 208 is light purple. What is Gigi telling me on for? Toot says Gigi just came down here to tell on you, and Sam is like, famous brother. Famous. I'll show you guys both of the colors and you can see which one we like. I associate blue more with the Artemis mission, but also I'm using gray blue for the moon, so I'll show you guys all my colors in a second. Let me just finish up this black outline here. So I grabbed this pattern, these two patterns actually. One was for the moon, one was for the rocket ship. Off of CandyPad, which is a site for perler bead patterns, which I use a lot for these tattoo motifs because they're usually small, and thank you, Toot. They're usually small and easy to stitch. Toot just put up a pole. I just got distracted by Toot putting up that pole and stitched the wrong things over here. Let's just pull these out. Here, I'll show you the two options. The pole is up. It's my little bowl of floss. Okay. So we've got 210 or 995. The moon is these shades of gray blue. Hello, gray blue, where are you? The moon is these shades of gray blue. And then so I'm looking at either one of these for the rocket. So Toot has actually put up a poll. Bright blue versus pale purple. You can vote in the poll. I'll put these guys up here. Will I frog what I need to frog? Oh no. Where are we? Here we go. But it was only 2 stitches. Alright, let's try that again. Yes, the Grim Reaper comes for us all. And sometimes frogging on this waste canvas is a pain. Frogging after you've taken the waste canvas out is the worst. Starts playing Don't Fear the Reaper. Don't Fear the Ripper. But you have more cowbell. You have a shirt that says more cowbell. Hi, Earls. Want to be on the cameras with your little paws? She laid down like a little bit further over there and then just started like sneaking forward. So she gets to be on the camera because she's a good girl. She is supervising, yes. Absolutely, she is. Stormy's taking a nap. That's unsurprising. Given that cats tend to do that, what, 22 hours a day? Something like that? Early was sleeping earlier, and she was twitching. Actually, I don't have that long in this thread. I'm just gonna finish this thread off and start going up the moon. She was twitching her back leg in her sleep, and she almost twitched herself right off the mat. She's spying on me for Toot. No, Early does not report to Toot. Early tolerates Toot's existence. Especially when Toot has the audacity to get into Early's bed and sleep on Early's pillow with Early's daddy. It's just, the audacity. Unbelievable. Before we moved to this new place, Early was kind of an anxious wreck. She really, like, she was actually on anti-anxiety medication, and she wasn't doing too good because she had a lot of, she was being bullied by the other cats and that kind of thing, and she just wasn't, she wasn't as happy. And then we moved to this new place, and I think because we have more space that's more spread out, she gets to have her space, and she's more in control of her space. And she is doing so much better now. She is so happy, so confident, and which has made her more affectionate and more loving as well, because she's feeling much better as a cat. So that's why a big deal when she said hi to Moon. Yeah, she's we call her the bog witch of the colony because she's part of the colony, but she kind of like isn't part of the colony at the same time. She's only part of the colony when someone from outside may be threatening her. It's cute though. If something happens, like a fire alarm goes off or something that like threatens the colony as a whole, after it's over, Gigi goes to every member of the colony and checks on them, and that includes Early. It's really cute. Toot says she loves Moon and Commander. She sleeps with them when they're here. Yeah, that's true. And that's not a room that she would normally sleep in. It wasn't like they just happened to be sleeping in her room. She made a point of going to sleep with them. It was really cute. Poll is almost done. Get your vote in for the light purple or the bright blue. Just gonna weave this end in, and I'll get started on the rest of the rocket. Can't wait to see Sam's reaction to other humans in her room. Yeah, that is the guest room, games room, spare room, Moon's room, whatever you want to call it. The poll was a tie. Oh no. But that room it's Sam's room. Like, that's how she considers it, so. Alright, tiebreaker. I guess I have to make my own decisions. Time to do a floss blend. No, I think I am gonna go for the bright blue. I like it. I think it'll stand out. I was worried that it would like be too much blue, but I think it's a different enough blue that I actually think that the pale purple would stand out less against the blue gray of the moon. Oof. Sam heard me say her name. It did big stretchies and little chirps. Aw, Sambalam. So speaking of Moon and Commander, you guys didn't already know, Moon is going to be hosting a watch party in her server this afternoon for How It's Made, which is a show about how things are made. Because we watched the episode on needles together, or the segment on needles together on her stream one day, and it was just really fun. So if you guys want to do that, Toot, if you could do a shout out for Moon, please. Then yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. We're just gonna hang out in a VC in her server and watch How It's Made together. Oh, okay, thank you. Do it myself. I am slightly concerned about running out of waste canvas for this moon, because it's a little bit cramped up here, but we'll see. Also, the reason that my basting thread looks so weird, this is the Witch's Shark's Newt, and this is the top of Gengar, and this is Mew's tail. So like I use the basting stitches to trace around what I don't want to stitch into. So that's why it looks a little weird. I do know how to baste in a straight line. This is on purpose, I swear. This is honestly such a fun project though. I highly recommend. Even if you don't do it on a sweater, but just doing a little project that's like just little bits and pieces of whatever's interesting you in the moment. It's kind of like a scrapbook or a journal of what's going on. And I get you guys to ask for tattoos as well, which is so much fun because I can look at the sweater and go like, oh, that's Callie. Oh, that's Mike. Oh, Toot did this one. Luna has plans eventually to stitch onto wallets or purses, but you need to be more confident in your stitching first. I get that. I mean, I always say go for it. The best way, in my opinion, to learn a new skill or to practice a new skill is to pick something that you really want to make and make it. Like that's why a lot of the time people will say like, in knitting, like start with a scarf or something, and it's like, okay, yes, but if you wanted to get into knitting because you saw this really cool sweater, start making the sweater and learn the skills along the way. Like, do a dishcloth first. Always do a dishcloth first because those don't have to be a perfect square. They can be wonky, whatever. But if you really want to make that sweater, do that your first project. There are no rules. There's nothing stopping you from doing a very complex colorwork sweater as your first project if that's what you want to knit. If the first thing you want to stitch is full coverage, go for it. You don't need to practice or build up to it. Garden says I have a bunch of waste canvas, but I was told I need interfacing, so I haven't done anything. You don't need interfacing. I mean, it depends on what you want to do. I don't use interfacing because I don't like the sensory of it. It would make my stitches more even. It would make my stitches more even, and it would make the fabric yeah, just more even, a little bit more neat. But I couldn't stand having interfacing touching my skin. So I do not use interfacing. When we come back, I'll show you the back of my piece and talk a little bit more about that. But we have to go for a little break. I'm going to run a 3-minute ad. You're not going to miss anything. I'm just going to go over here on the break screen. So go grab a drink. Go pet your kitties if you have one. Get a snack. And I will see you guys back here in 3 minutes. Hello, and we're back. Hello, Moon! Moon is here, yay! Thanks for grabbing your coffee. And the bot popped up with a reminder just at the right time. So Moon and I are going to be... So this coming Friday is actually my birthday. So next Saturday's stream, Moon is going to join me. And we're going to do a fun little stream together to celebrate my birth. Gonna be good. Also, like I said earlier, watch party in their server this afternoon, so go check out Moon, follow Moon, do all the Moon things. Thank you. Thank you for my birth. I'll be turning 39. I do not feel like I am turning 39. That seems like a very high number. Yeah, I hope quite a few people can make it. Time is an illusion. It really is. Alright, so we finished the blue. So I really like this little design. I'm thinking of reaching out to the pixel artists who made the two elements that I did and seeing if they'd be interested in me releasing this as a freebie. Just because it's so cute. I love it. Mike says, trust me, 39 is not a high number. Okay, I trust you. Some of the artists on like Candy Pad and Candy Pattern are so talented, and they're just offering their art for free for other people to enjoy, and that's just, it's so awesome to see. So I would love to, I know one of them is on Instagram and has a little crochet hustle. So I'd love to get them some exposure. I mean, not that I'm super exposery myself, but you know, hopefully that'll change. I'm gonna be the biggest thing you ever heard of on FlossTube. No. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that. The bot keeps giving you black coffees. Well, maybe it's trying to tell you something. Moon says I will be famous. Moon's gonna be famous as well. #1 cross-stitch streamer on Twitch. That's what we're aiming for Moon. Luna likes their coffee with a side of sugar, with their sugar with a side of coffee. Yep, I get that. I like mine very like creamy and sweet, so I use creamer. I use International Delight. Yeah, Moon and Toot have been friends, very close friends, for almost 5 years now, I think. Before Moon started streaming, so we've been there. We were the first. We've seen everything, and it's just been incredible watching Moon grow as a content creator, as a streamer, as a person. I'm so proud of her. And the community that she's built and the vibe that she consistently puts out. And even before she became a cross-stitch main, when she was mostly streaming Valorant, she still managed to keep that same welcome, wholesome, caring, cozy vibe in a game that's not particularly known for being those things. So she created space for a lot of people where there really was none, but But yeah, I'm just really proud of her. I'm also really proud of Toot. I'm just gonna be goopy for a minute. Because Moon started streaming, and then I started streaming because of Moon. And we always kind of joked that Toot would only stream if I was the one doing the commentary. So then Toot got the courage up to do what she does now, which is no mic streaming. Toot's coming in my office to unplug the internet. And really, like, that's not a big niche. That's not a thing that is seen quite often on Twitch. But she went for it. She just went for it, and in turn has created a little community of her own. She's reaching out to other content creators. Like, she's getting well known in spaces, in the Phasmo space, in the Played Up space, like, and while staying true to who she is as a person. And doing it, and managing to do it, managing to have a personality and have a welcoming stream and all that without talking. Like, without a mic. It's just, I'm really proud of her as well. Her content is very genuine. And, yeah. So if you guys don't follow Toot. Also, she's added the task list, which I absolutely love. Early, stop leaning on the keyboard, please. Thank you. I love you too. But yeah, like, be the cryptid you want to see in the woods. If you don't see the kind of content that you like on Twitch or YouTube, go and make it yourself. That's what inspired me, that's what inspired Toot. Be the cryptid that you want to see in the woods. Speaking of, I don't know how many of you have caught Bastion the last couple of weeks on Toot's channel. Oh my god, I love that game so much. She finished playing it yesterday. And I was sitting here like, I had all of my kit stuff spread out on the desk. I was not touching it. I was glued to the screen. I had tears in my eyes. Oh, it was such a good game. Luna says, y'all give me a lot of confidence to be yourself. Good, I'm glad. That is exactly the kind of be the cryptid vibe we want to put out. A lot of Twitch is very loud and about throwing your energy forwards, and with y'all I can be my cozy chaotic self without needing to throw my energy. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. You don't need to shout to be heard in our communities, if that makes sense. So I'm working on the tail of the rocket here. Catching you up. I'm sure someone did a moon-themed stitch-along for the last couple of weeks. I didn't see anything, though. Early. Hi, Gwen! Very early, just is sending messages. I was actually talking, so this is two candy pad patterns mashed up together, and I was just talking about reaching out to the artists who designed them to see if they wouldn't mind if I release this as a freebie. So I'm gonna try and reach out to them. Yes, Gwen, our number 2 test stitcher. Toot still number 1, but yeah, Gwen has agreed to do a secret, very important test for us, which we are so grateful for. Super secret. You guys will get some teasers as we go, but super secret for now. Although, if you've been watching some of my co-working streams, you've probably seen this design, or at least part of it. So if you so yeah, if you're not watching the co-working streams, I design on screen, which is a lot of fun. Although I'm kind of caught up on designing, so I don't know how much I'll be doing in the next little bit, but we'll see. Also, Monday's stream, early please. Monday's stream is a little bit up in the air. I may or may not be streaming in the afternoon. And Toot will not be streaming in the morning. It's because we have an appointment. But Toot is streaming tomorrow morning with Ghost Church and Faz, so you can get your Faz fix on. I think the Easter event is still going. Double XP is over, Sag. But Toot got a prestige, which is so cool. So in Faz, it's a similar leveling system where as you level up, you like each level is harder to attain than the last level. Like you need more XP. So, and the level cap's at 100, but once you hit level 100 you can prestige, and then you start back at 0 with 0 money, 0 equipment, all that stuff, and you can build back up to 100. I'm prestige level 2, and that's only because if you played the game before they put the prestige system in place, you are automatically prestige 1. So I played it for like 3 minutes before that update, so I was automatically prestige 1. Toot did not play, so Toot has built up from prestige 0 to 12 at this point, which is incredibly impressive. Level doesn't cap at 100, you can keep building to the sky. Okay, yeah, so that's sorry, yes, that at level 100 you can prestige, but you can keep leveling up. There's just no point. Unless you're like me and you don't want to prestige again because you were just an occasional truck princess. I was like 100, I was level like 130 something when I prestige 2, and that was only because it was a double XP week, so I thought I could get back up quickly. It did not end up happening. I'm actually getting quite a bit of this little stitch done. It's about 350 stitches altogether. Let's see, 354. Are you not? Maybe you're already following Toot. What do I do while sitting in the truck? Cross stitch mostly. When I'm being truck princess, I'm literally just there to pay for equipment. I also do keep an eye on sanity, sanity drain. So if Toot unexpectedly dies and the sanity is like 70%, then that gives us a clue as to what the ghost is. But yeah, I cross stitch and keep an eye on sanity. And then every now and then there's one objective that I keep Toot saying, yeah, that too, because my sanity stays at 100%, but there is an objective where you have to drop the team sanity to 25%. So I have to go into the map at that point and hide in the dark for a little bit, but other than that, I do very little. I mean, I usually, when Toot and I play off stream, I will like investigate with her, but when it comes to streaming, it's just less to coordinate if I stay out of the map. That makes sense. Toot finds Prince X parking? Yeah. Toot will find me a safe hiding spot and be like, okay, go here. And I just go there. And then I am safe. So yes, I was talking earlier before the break, and then I completely forgot about interfacing. So you can use interfacing in a lot of like the old school, you know, when they did like the Winnie the Pooh sweatshirts. The Winnie the Pooh sweatshirts and that kind of thing in like the 80s and the 90s. A lot of those ladies would use the interfacing because it did keep everything very neat, especially when you're doing a large piece. It kept everything very even. However, like I said, I don't like the feel of interfacing on my skin. If I were stitching on a bag or something that I wanted to have that stiffness, I would use interfacing. But this is going right up against my skin, and also because it's on the sleeve, I want it to be flexible enough to push up. Hey Crow, welcome in! Good to see you, good to see you. Crow just finished one of my pieces, actually. One of my retired pieces. You can't even get the pattern anymore, but looks great. You guys don't follow Crow? They do Crow working. That's the best name. That's the best name for it, and I'm so jealous that you get to make that pun. And stitching here on Twitch. And sell candles and do YouTube and have a coffee. So. Ugh. But let me show you what I mean. So interfacing can be thick or thin. It kind of depends on how stiff you want it. And I guess for fabric you would want a pretty thin interfacing. But I don't use interfacing. So you can see this is the raw, this is the back of the stitches. And that's just the sweater. This goes through the wash just fine. I put it in the washer and dryer. This is one of the oldest stitches, and it doesn't felt because it's cotton, but it does kind of like mush down and stick together. But yeah, I have had no issues. You can see these are some of the older ones where I didn't do the dark outline. And just the ones with the dark outline just look a lot crisper and sharper, so that's what I've been doing. Like this early I love, but she kind of is a little bit, she's a little bit shapeless. And this was Toot's contribution. It's a little Phasmo spirit box. So yeah, like it depends on what you want to work on, but if you want to do something like a sweater or something that you're going to wear, I would recommend not using interfacing. Unless you're like one of these people who don't have sensory issues, which I don't personally know anyone who doesn't have sensory issues. I don't think they actually exist. I've also found all my tips for working with waste canvas. I usually stitch on the drum. So my hoop, the inside hoop is on the bottom and the outside hoop is on the top. Toot discovered that it's actually a lot easier to stitch on the waste canvas if you stitch in the well. So we both started doing that, and that actually has made quite a lot of difference. It says my circles are so neurodivergent, I forget there are neurotypical peeps. Yeah, I was watching a Queer Kiwi video. Hey Ferris, welcome in! I was watching a Queer Kiwi video about the use of AI in parenting, and they started the video and were like, so I don't like generative AI because it's evil, and all of my friends don't like AI, and everyone I talk to doesn't like AI. So I forget that there are people out there who actually use it for stuff. It's like, same. Same. How are you doing today, Ferris? Ferris was also playing Bastion, so I don't know if you finished the playthrough, if you're still going, but if you guys want to get some Bastion action, check out Ferris. Alright, let's just fill in the white of the spaceship, and then we'll get back to working on the actual moon of the moon. I have this book. It's a pattern book that was printed in the early 90s, I believe. Late 80s, early 90s. And it's a book of like environmental awareness patterns that are so dated and so funny, and I would love to stitch them onto like a piece of clothing. But that's a big undertaking. Gwen said I went to an after-work event with my team and it was so loud, and there were people there who were like okay with it. Toot actually sent me a really interesting TikTok just this morning about that, about synaptic pruning, and how in neurotypical people the synaptic pruning is more aggressive, so they actually have fewer synapses firing, which means less sensory overload. So they literally just don't have the brain synapses to get overwhelmed. Thank you, Toot. Having an office of mostly neurotypical cishet people has been a good way to remember what opinions are considered normal and why I don't like it. We have too many brains, which is good and bad, because it's good because we think very quickly, but it's bad because we think very quickly in 1,000 directions at once and can get overstimulated. So it's like good and bad, but apparently I think synaptic pruning happens in like your childhood development, and in neurotypical people it's about 50%, and in neurodivergent people it's about 12%. So we're hoarding synapses over here. But yeah, Toot sent me that this morning, and I watched it while I was in the washroom. You ever do that where like you open TikTok for just a second while you're using the washroom, and then it's suddenly half an hour later and you can't feel your feet? I did that this morning. Farrah says I don't tend to get overwhelmed in large general crowds, but there's something like a group of people that I think I should be paying attention to. Instead of a bar or party where there's maybe one or two I care listening to is when it starts bothering me. Yeah, I get that. It's like you can kind of filter out some of the unimportant stuff, but if there's too much important stuff, it's like, ah. I totally get that too. I said, oh yeah, that happened after a shower a couple of times, and then I deleted TikTok. See, I don't actually browse TikTok. I don't have a For You page. I have a From Toot page. I only look at my messages from Toot. And that is the extent of my TikTok usage. So I get like a good solid hour of content every day. maybe half an hour, because I catch up every like 3 or 4 days. But yeah, I have Toot Talk. Toot Talk is the best. I don't know about TikTok at large. Gwen says, this is why I got rid of TikTok and Instagram, and I was disappointed I couldn't delete YouTube from my phone. Yeah, the fact that YouTube is standard issue is irritating. Monthly staff meetings are my own personal hell. I call them mandatory overstimulation Wednesdays. Oh god. Yeah, that sounds rough. See, I actually use Instagram quite a lot, but my problem is I use Instagram for work and to connect with other creators, but I still check it before bed. Like when I'm laying in bed about to fall asleep, I go and check Instagram, which like wakes up my creative brain, and then my creative brain is like, we should do all of these things, and I'm like, okay, we'll do them in the morning, and then I forget. I really just need to stop checking Instagram before bed. Also, I felt so bad because it was Tuesday, and I take Tuesdays off from work. And I was but I went to bed Tuesday night, and I had an Instagram message from a YouTube creator, FlossTuber, asking if they could use one of my pictures in their video, and I but they had sent the message like really early that morning. And I didn't see it until, 10 o'clock at night, and I responded, I'm like, oh yes, of course, that's fine, I'm so sorry. But they didn't get it in time to include it in their video, so. But next video, they will include it. Yeah, I need to figure out like a little sketch dealie on my phone. Because it's usually sketches that I think of. I keep a physical sketchbook, even though what I do is pixel art. When it comes to actually creating, I have to sit down and use the program. But I do keep a physical sketchbook for just little ideas. You can see some. They're not the greatest sketches, but. Like I'll research ideas and that kind of thing and figure stuff out. Yeesh. So yeah, I do keep a physical sketchbook even though I'm not a great artist, because it helps me get a visual idea of what I'm going for. And sometimes if I just write something down, I have no idea what I mean when I look at it the next day. Or in several days when I get back to it. Oh god, 5 to 6 people talking pretty much at the same time, and it's the worst. Parrish, you have my condolences. Sketches are there to get the ideas down. You can't polish something that doesn't exist. Exactly, yeah. And it's good if I want to do research, because I can do a sketch and I can jot down notes on the same page. Dude says, imagine if I started taking notes after 9:30. Oh goodness. Dude takes her night meds at 9:30. By 9:35, she's usually pretty zooted. It's been funny though, because she's still got the pneumonias. Jesus Christ, she's still got the pneumonias. Oops. Early. Sorry about that, guys. So she's been taking Dayquil and NyQuil. And the bottles look very similar. So, we've almost had some very interesting days of daytime Toot. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. JS, welcome in. I'm enjoying the counting game going on in chat. So I think that was a thing in the first server that we met Moon in, was the accounting game. It just reminds me of when I was in camp. Zoot Toot Riot. The counting is about Early accidentally leaned on the 6 key and then hit enter with her chin. You're back on camera, baby girl. And then they just started counting. Zoot Toot Riot. Yeah, Zoot Toot Riot. I don't know if this ever happened to you, like if you ever went to camp. I went to camp every summer from the time I was like 6 until 15, 16. But you do at the end of the meal, someone would start it and they stand, we are table number 1, number 1, number 1, we are table number 1, where is number 2? And then another table would like jump in real quick to be like, we are table number 2, number 2, number 2. But you couldn't like do the same, you couldn't do the same number at the same time, so you had to like be the first to stand up for the next number. I don't know if anyone does this. Thank you for the coworker appreciation, Gwen. Let's give Early some appreciation here. Did you have a good nap on the keyboard? Yeah. Good keyboard nap. Yeah, good girl. But yeah, I went to, it was a Jesus camp too. It was a Presbyterian Bible camp that I went to for 11 years of my life. It's actually where I met my best friend. We were 6. Well, I was 6, she was 7. They were 7. And they actually weren't even a camper. Their mom was the camp nurse, so they just got to like tag along. And we became very good friends over the course of a week, and then we were like, okay, we're gonna write to each other. Because they lived in Nova Scotia, the camp was in Nova Scotia, and I lived in Ontario. We're like, we're gonna write to each other, so we wrote to each other all year, and then the next summer, we were like, okay, which camp are you going to? So we went to camp together. We were 6 and 7. We're still best friends. I am turning 39. I was the best man at their wedding. Bear said, my summer camp did something called Count Off, where everyone in the group was assigned a number and we basically just say our number in order.
Good morning,
okay, yeah. A Doge!
Hello.
Hello, a Doge! Welcome in! Thank you so much for the raid! Welcome, welcome everyone. My name is DH, my pronouns are they, them, and I am stitching a little tiny rocket ship onto my sweater. Hello, hello! How was your stream? What were you up for? Up to? Up, in, up, around. Let's just do all of the conjunctions. Not conjunctions. Prepositions. I know my word parts. Mrs. Kidded, welcome in! Kidded or kilted? I can't read. But hello, welcome in. Kilted, yes. Okay, cool. Stream went well. You started working on a kitsune plushie today? Nice! Do you crochet, sew, or knit? And thank you so much for the follow, Mrs. Kilted. You heard kitty, so always good. Yes, we do have kitties. Let me zoom out a little bit, because you can see both my stomach and a kitty. Earls, come over here and be on screen for the people. No? You look kitty. We have 5 cats, and 3 of them join me regularly on the desk. She's mostly white with a little bit of gray. She's got her head is gray. She's only done one of her eye makeups. The other eye doesn't have any makeup on. And she's got a few gray patches on her, and then a gray stripy tail. Yeah. Hi. But yeah, we've got 5 cats. They all, not all of them. One of them is too scared to come up, and one of them is just doesn't care. But the other 2 will come by and harass me. So yeah, this is Early, short for Earl Jean Grey. You have a female ginger floof and a female tuxie floof. Both don't really care about my cross-stitching to come near me. Yeah, our cats are good in that they know not to like mess with the cross-stitch mostly. They won't mess with the floss. But Gigi is our male tuxie, will try and pull the needle out with his teeth. I'm sorry for your loss. We had an orange tabby female who passed in October. Stormy will come lay on my projects. Yeah, that happens too. Binks, if I leave a project out, Binks will come and stand in the middle of the project. Like, just stand with all 4 feet in the middle of the project, so you have to redo the hoop to get the tension back. Every time. I left a couple of framed pieces out by accident, and I was like, and I realized when I was on the other end of the house, I was like, oh god, please don't step on those framed pieces. I want them to stay nice. Moon says that's what Una does too. Oh Lord, she heard you saying her name. Dodge, thank you for the follow. Oh, you sew. Today was mainly cutting out the cloth. The cats are part of the reason you raided in, as you've got 2 cats that like to take up room on your desk while you're crafting. Yeah, Early's pretty good. She'll usually lay down near me. Gigi will take up the entire desk with his enormous man butt.
Is such a thing even possible?
Lady K, thank you for redeeming Weird Fact. Today's Weird Fact is about the Baghdad batteries, which sounds like an Eminem mashup, but is not. So the Baghdad batteries were a set of clay jars that were discovered in Iraq, that were dated to like the first couple of centuries CE. I think 200 to 300 around there. But they contained a combination of, I'm trying to remember the exact thing. I'm just doing this off the top of my head. It was like copper wire, vinegar, and some other component that when you put it together, it creates a low voltage electric current. So these were batteries that could actually power something. Researchers have recreated the batteries, and they do actually provide enough power to power a small device. Archaeology says that they were used for jewelry making. I can't remember the name of the jewelry making technique, but there's a jewelry making technique where you use a light current to create like an oxidization effect. But of course, ancient alien theorists speculate that it was actually used for to power something, or to power something in general. Despite the age of them, they did create an electroplating. Thank you. Yes, for electroplating jewelry. But yeah, Baghdad battery. Very interesting. It was used to power the Stargate, obviously. Well, obviously. Gwen's got me. Gwen, oh, Gwen always follows. My little rocket ship is looking so good. Early is settled here. This is her heart-shaped blob. You guys can never really see it on camera, but when it's like heart-shaped. It's really super cute. Gwen says it just got transported a little far from Egypt to get put into storage and then it got forgore. Exactly. That's exactly what happened to the Baghdad batteries. Also, okay, you're getting a 2-for-1 weird fact because Toot sent me a TikTok that recently a archaeologist historian did a big study press release about how there's a second Sphinx. But it's under it's buried, right? Under a mound of dirt that's never been excavated. And he and his team are fairly certain that it's there because this, that, and the other thing. And other people are saying, oh, it's not there because you didn't actually find it. You didn't actually dig for it. And ground penetrating radar can't go that low. And it's really funny because this was like really recently and a lot of people are like, oh my god, there's a second Sphinx. And me and the ancient alien theorists, because I'm not an ancient alien theorist, I'm an ancient alien theorist enjoyer, are like, yeah, of course there's a second Sphinx. This theory has been around for like a really long ass time. Thank you for the disclaimer, Toot. Yes, I'm an ancient alien theorist fanboy. I'm an enthusiast. A connoisseur, if you will. The very first free cross-stitch pattern I ever released was the Giorgio Tsoukalos mini. Bear says, I like to laugh at the ancient alien theorists and point out how racist they can get. So I feel you. Yeah, some of them can get pretty racist. Some of them don't, which is nice. But I feel like a lot of the most common ancient alien theorists is more just like non-white people not smart enough to do this thing, therefore aliens. Which is really, that's sloppy ancient alien theory. That's just sloppy scholarship right there. Alright, we got a little spaceship. That's the sound that a spaceship makes now. Oh, he looks so cute. So happy with this. Reminds you of Galactica. Gwen says spaceship. Bear says Neom. And I'm also really happy because what I wanted to do, you can kind of see it on the back, is here's Mew and here's the Shark Witch and Gengar's down here, and I kind of wanted to have him like shooting out from between these two, and I could have started a little bit lower, but I was worried about the moon running into Mew. So, but I think I did get that. I think I did get the positioning pretty much where I wanted. It's really hard to get the motifs as close as I want. I think when I'm done with snip this, I think when I'm done with the sleeve, or mostly done, I'm gonna go back and fill in the gaps with just like little stars and tiny motifs, little things. To kind of fill in the space. Gwen says, for anyone who missed it, I was legit the astronaut from the Lego movie and or the Space Personality Core from Portal 2 for this last week and a half, and I find this hilarious. The hyperfixation has let you loose now that they've splashed down. I'm glad. The cat meowing is in the song, just FYI. Bear says, you've inspired me to try and make an Artemis 2 cross-stitch design. Go for it. Make, create. You fail, try again. The world needs more Artemis 2 stuff. You have WinStitch, you need to use it for something? Absolutely. I love WinStitch. That's the program I use. It's not super intuitive for some stuff, but that's fine. Because I also use GIMP, which is not super intuitive for editing graphics and things. It's so much better than the other ones. I haven't really tried any other ones other than Stitch Fiddle. And Stitch Fiddle was great for a free/cheap program, but it definitely had its limitations. Gwen says, I would be down for picking out a small spaceship pattern for your needle minder display. Oh, that's a good idea. Because you've got another of these like kind of scrapbooky projects. Where you can just do little stitches. Luna used an app called Stitchly. I've heard of that one. Fair says, yeah, you Stitch Fiddle in one after one, and after the third time I miscounted and had to individually move each stitch. You're just about to quit. Oof, yeah. Yeah, the free version especially of Stitch Fiddle is it's clunky. Clunky. But yeah, Gwen, I just found these patterns on CandyPad. I searched Rocket Ship and Moon. I did get a lot of Team Rocket patterns. But I got some really cute rocket ships. There were a few I was looking at, but I went with this one. Mainly because it was kind of like exactly what I had pictured in my head that I wanted to do. And then I found a moon that I really liked, and they happened to be like the same scale. CandyPad, yes, that's exactly what I said. You spelled it right. It's a perler bead pattern site. Bear said, and then I wanted to do an actual big chart, and the stitch count limitation meant it would hurt. Oh no. Aw, that's so nice that you bought the WinStitch for you, because WinStitch is not cheap. Mine was actually a birthday gift a couple years ago from Moon. And speaking of Moon, I'm almost finished. I'm going to be wrapping up here in a few minutes, but 2 p.m. Eastern in Moon server. Be there, be square. We're going to do a She's doing a how it's made watch party. But it says I have a few files saved on Stitch Fiddle and I need to clear them out because I ran out of file slots. I transferred almost everything over to WinStitch, but I'm fairly sure there are some Stitch Fiddle charts that are now lost in limbo. If I can get this moon stitched around. He does that sometimes when he realizes there's something I need to buy, like a better camera. And he'd be like, hey, so you have two Logitech C920s coming in the mail? Nice. Those are nice ass cameras too. Toot did this to me last night. We ordered McDonald's for dinner. And she ordered a crispy Sprite. Because you know the McDonald's Sprite is sharper than other Sprite. She ordered it because I like crispy Sprite in my slushies, but I wouldn't order it for myself because I didn't feel like I should get it for myself. So she got it for herself and then but actually got it for me. So I was bamboozled into getting something I really wanted. Yes, Gwen, that happened to me too. Gwen said I just searched rocket ship and the first result was a massive perler pattern of Howl's Moving Castle. Very cool. Not what you were looking for, but very cool. Oh, fuck. Thank you so much for the hydrate. Let's do a little drinky drink. So while I'm stitching this, let's do our wrap-up stuff. So Toot is streaming tomorrow morning, Ghost Church, 10 a.m. There's no stream Monday morning from her. I may or may not stream Monday afternoon, we're not sure. And the rest of the week stream should be pretty much the same as usual, but we will post the schedules in the server as usual. Toot is playing a new game this week on Friday called Fae. It's so cute. It's such a sweet game, and it will earworm you and have you singing along with it. It's really good. Yeah. Sorry about that. We have a new pattern in the shop, which is the micro horrors, if you want to check that out. If you haven't already had a look at our new website, go have a look. It's very cool. I added an about page, so if you have ever wanted to have pictures of every one of our children, along with a little blurb about them, now you have that. You just do the shop command, so I can give you that link. Patrons got their monthly pattern, which is the Cozy Moon Moth. And coming up soon will be the Lunasa Witch, which was a Patreon but is now coming into being available for everyone. Trying to think if there's anything else I need to mention. And then yes, next Friday's my birthday. Next Saturday, special stream with Moon. It's going to be a low-key stitch and chill. We're not really doing anything like super birthday celebration-y, but Moon's going to be joining me. It'll be good. And then I believe Moon is looking at planning some stuff for the following weekend, which is 24 hours of cross stitch. She mentioned this a little bit in her server, so if you guys are... So the following weekend is 24 hours of cross stitch. Moon says yes, yes. Yeah, so definitely stay tuned for that and see what she's got cooking up. Because that's going to be fun. I will not be doing anything for 24 hours of cross stitch. I will be sticking to my schedule. I may attempt to do the stitching part, but I'm not going to be doing anything stream-wise. Okay, so let me just finish off this thread. Snooze out the ads. Nastasia, welcome in! We're actually just about to raid out. If you guys don't follow Nastasia, wonderful cross-stitch creator here on Twitch, founder of the Wanderlust Stitchy game, which is the only Stitchy game I would probably participate in if I participate in Stitchy games. Okay, so we got our little spaceship and the moon fully outlined. So I'm probably going to finish this afternoon. I'm going to keep stitching on it. And I will show you guys the finished stitch in the servers. I'm not going to unroll that to show you guys anything else. But yeah, I was thinking about doing the patch, but I already have this big patch on my shoulder, which is, I want to believe, from Stitch Sprout. And yeah, alright. Awesome. So let's hop on it. Let's say goodbye to Earls. Bye, Earls. Baby ship. Yeah, it's just a little. It's just a little guy. Just a little guy. All right. So I'm gonna grab my keyboard here. Sorry, Earls. So, check out the Patreon. Follow us on Instagram for sneak peeks, that kind of stuff. I am trying to do more like behind the scenes stuff, but honestly, there's not much going on behind the scenes to post. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I had such a good time. I love getting to do my Saturday morning stitch with me's. Because of my lungs, which are actually improving, I don't get to do voiced streams a whole lot. That's the reason that I don't have a mic on during my co-working streams, because I wouldn't be able to do it. So I really love being able to hang out with you guys and talk to you guys, and yeah, I'm so happy when you show up, and thank you so much. So yeah, let's keep the love going. Let's find someone to raid out to. Grab the first message if you are subbed, grab the second message if you are not subbed. Okay, we're not gonna raid in, but I recommend Canadian Lass 87 if you like Fortnite. I just realized she's live, and she's a newer streamer. Yeah, let's go see Z. Let's see what Z's up to. Oh, I caught them on a BRB. I have a sneaking suspicion they went to get a sneaky snack. But okay, my friends, I will see you in the coffee shop. I'll see you in the Discord server. I'll see you in early sunny window spot, but most importantly, my friends, I will see you in my heart. Alright, bye guys. Bye bye.